Hey there, Elizabeth here, and before we get into today's episode, I thought I would just make sure you knew about my free workshop. It's called The 3 Secrets to Integrating the Arts with SEL. And if you're interested in creating some calm, dissolving those distractions, and promoting positivity in your classroom, this is definitely a workshop you want to check out. You can go to theinspiredclassroom.com/workshop and register for free right there. I hope to see you inside. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Inspired Classrooms podcast. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm really looking forward to this episode because we're going to jump into what SEAL is. SEAL, Social Emotional Artistic Learning, is an original method of integrating the arts with social emotional learning that comes directly from the Inspired Classroom. And, it's the only method that really empowers caring teachers to do things that are really important right now, which is to calm classroom behaviors and even ease teacher burnout. And we do that by embedding creative and artistic social emotional strategies into teachers' current content. And here's the great thing. This happens without requiring them to implement an entire program that takes up precious class time. Now, that is a really big concern for teachers. Not only classroom disruptions, not only the fact that teachers are really on the brink of burnout, but that when they are asked to do something with social emotional learning in their school or in their classroom, it's taking up time from their academic teaching. And one of the premises of SEAL is to take artistic and creative experiences and embed them into the classroom. We'll probably talk more about that specific topic in another episode. But today I really want to give you an overview of what SEAL is and how it came to be. Now, the idea behind SEAL is that we can use arts integrated strategies specifically to teach, to build, and to practice the social emotional competencies that are so important for our students to learn. It combines these two amazing approaches to learning: arts integration and, of course, social emotional learning, and it combines them into SEAL. Now, you probably already know that the arts are a powerful mode for learning. They reach us at our own personal level of understanding, and they also expand our understanding of other content. And that's why arts integration strategies are so successful in general. A number of years ago, I had what was our very first SEAL retreat before we even had an acronym for SEAL. And it was just an overnight retreat, an amazing experience, by the way, an overnight retreat focusing in on integrating the arts with social emotional learning. And one of the teachers that was there happens to also be an art teacher in my district. Kate Bernardoni said, when we were in the middle of just doing one of the fun workshops, our hands-on teacher-centered workshops, she just stood there and looked at everybody and she just said, "Art is SEL." And we all just kind of looked at her and said, yeah, that is so true. And that idea that art is SEL is confirmed for me and for other teachers again and again and again. Like how just last week or 2 weeks ago, I had a student who asked me if they could just doodle for a little bit because they had a lot of uneasy feelings and she needed to get them out of her. And it was a very appropriate time during the day, and I let her do it, and it helped her so much. There have been times when students have asked me to listen to specific music to help them just kind of focus and calm themselves. Students have asked me if they could write in their SEAL journal to get some of their thoughts out of their mind before getting into the work that was presented to them. There are so many stories like this, and maybe you even have one of your own. See, to me, SEAL, social, emotional, artistic learning, just makes sense. I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to think about how when we're teaching students about art skills and how to apply them to their lives, we're actually teaching them self-awareness. When we listen to music to help regulate our own emotions, we're practicing self-management. When students are interacting with others in creating drama or skits or doing some kind of drama-inspired activity, they're using social awareness. They're practicing and developing those social awareness skills. When we move and we dance with one another, I always can't help but think of, maybe you had this in your childhood or you've seen it in movies where, in PE class, it's a square dancing unit and all the kids have to buddy up together and, and learn how to dance together. But seriously, when you move and you dance with other people, you're building relationship skills. And throughout all of this, we're working on making responsible decisions for ourselves and for others as we're working through all of these different creative processes. So for so many years, since I would say 2017 was when I first started hearing about social emotional learning. And since that year, I have been deeply exploring how arts integration strategies can be applied to various social emotional skills. And the outcome is actually pretty simple. There's such a natural combination. But here's something else I also want to point out, and I just found this earlier this weekend. I'm recording this on the weekend here. I actually went back into my blog. You're going to hear me. I'm going to pull up an article that I wrote on my blog. I went into the archives and I went back to the very, very beginning when I first started blogging. And I was looking for, some content ideas to use here with you guys on this podcast. And one of the very first blog posts I wrote is called The Values of the Arts. Now get this, this was written in May of 2009. So about 13 and a half years ago, okay? 2009, think about that. And I want to read to you from, it's a very short blog post, and it has a couple of really nice comments from other teachers as well. But it says, the values are many, but the commitment these days seems so large. Most importantly, time away from areas in the curriculum which will be tested. I understand. I live this each day in my own classroom, but it is a calling to which we must find the courage to infuse our students with art, all of it, in order to develop a society, here it is, of well-rounded, fully capable individuals and team players. So back in 2009, as a very green blogger, I was always thinking about how the arts are so valuable. We need to take that time to pause, right? To pause and do some of this good work with the arts and creativity, and how it benefits our students in these skills that are, we used to call them the soft skills, or maybe we talked about character education. So I just went on very briefly. It says, let's ponder for a moment the hidden curriculum found in arts and arts education. That was another thing. It was sometimes called the hidden curriculum, the soft skills. And then I listed this, had this little list of these skills that I was referring to. I'm going to read this to you. Determination, value of practice, cooperation, communication, independent work, Stick-to-itiveness, that's a word that comes from my dad. He used to always love to talk to me about the stick-to-itiveness. Sense of self, pride, a sense of community, and culture. All of those words that I wrote about back in 2009 are exactly the same skills that we want our students to develop even now in our classrooms. So I really feel like it's time. It's time to harness the power of the arts and that power that they have for social emotional learning. I mean, imagine you have a classroom that is a place where students just feel genuinely welcome and safe, and where all your students, not just the easy ones, but all your students feel calm and at ease and ready to learn. And that's why you're here right now, listening to this message, that I'm putting out here right now. I think that you're ready to start really thinking about that difference in your classroom that you can make with SEAL. All right, so what's your next step? Let's take a look at what kind of things you can do. Maybe you want to watch or even rewatch the free workshop we have. It's called The 3 Secrets to Integrating the Arts with SEL. Maybe you're interested in joining the SEAL Foundations course that we have, or even enrolling in the larger SEAL teacher training course. Maybe you want to check out some of the resources, the free resources that we have at teachseal.com, and get inspired with some of the articles that we have on the website about SEAL. I also have an entire playlist on YouTube that talks about all different aspects of SEAL and social emotional learning in general. I'm going to put all the links to all those resources in the show notes for you to browse through. So be looking at that and seeing what might work for you. Listen, our students need this, right? They need genuine creative experiences in their classroom to help them develop their social emotional skills. And SEAL is the way to get them there. I wholeheartedly believe that. So go ahead. It's time for you to get inspired with some of these SEAL ideas, because when teachers feel empowered with SEAL, they can make a difference in their students' lives every single day. Thanks so much for listening. My name is Elizabeth Peterson. Be sure to subscribe, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you.